You want to count us in? Okay. What kind of work did you do before entering business?
So before FDK, I only had, there was 2 other jobs that I had before FDK. I was mostly a student, so it was always a job that I was doing as I was studying. My first job experience was with Mom's work at the factory. So Mom and Dad, as soon as they moved here to NZ from Samoa, they went straight into a factory called Fairfax.
Oh,
so it was
yes,
like
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Doing the, what do you call it? Sorry, they did all the printing for newspaper. So they were printing newspaper factory. That's where I first went and worked. And it was just while I was at school. I was saving up for a school trip. And that was my first experience of work. And that was probably the best experience I could have started with, because it really made me appreciate any other jobs that I got afterwards. I think it was straight into night shift too, like as their casual staff. And those were hard. Like, we had like older people that were much older than me, my aunties and uncles, everyone was family in that factory. And the night shift, the graveyards, I couldn't even last. Like, you'd have my elders like trying to wake me up and keep me awake during the shift. And so, yeah, that was my first experience. And then my second one was with Skills, and both jobs were just through people I knew. So Skills, I was just an admin person there, so just doing like some of their computer entry stuff. But aside from that, then I was straight into this from school, from university. Yeah,
I totally get where you're coming from when you're working at like a big company. And for me, the last big company I worked at was a hotel, and it was just standing on your feet all the time.
Tell me about it. That was the factory one. Skills was a little bit better, you know, it was behind a screen and a computer. But and I was grateful for that experience too, because then it shows me what like corporate's like.
Exactly.
But the factory one was definitely it was a humble beginning. It was good for me to see, because it closed down, but it was good for me to see what kind of ngaruenga that Mom and Dad were doing, because it made me appreciate, like, I now understood after doing one night shift, I understood why they get home and they're grumpy from us not having done anything else. Because it's like,
dishes aren't clean, the meat's not been put out.
I'll tell you something, when I was doing a night shift, I looked outside and I saw the sun go down, and I saw it come back up, and I was like, honest to who, these people are sleeping while I'm out here working. And you have that thought where you're like, well, they're all sleeping, I'm out here, you know. And I don't blame them, you know, for, I really understand why they hustle hard and why they want us to do well, because they don't want us to do jobs that they've had to come and do. Aloha lava, and welcome to Fale De Keke. Come on in. The shop itself only opened in 2020, but I started this journey in 2016. It was my last year of uni, and it just started as a hobby. So I was baking and decorating for fun. And then over time, you know, as you post on social media, more and more people started to see our work. And I think it was that 1 or 2 followers that really hyped up the dream that really made me start producing more. And then, it was just a hobby that turned bigger than I could have imagined. Here in the front of house, this is our main cupcake cabinet. So this is where all of our cupcakes are, as well as our other baked goods like brownies and slices. This was our latest baby added to the front of house. And this is our cake fridge. We noticed that lots and lots of people started to come in wanting a cake on the spot, which was a huge challenge because we were only making to order. So we thought, look, let's put in a fridge in the front and start offering the cakes for them to just pick up as they come for last minute events. And then that's where we started to think of this, the cake fridge, and started to add other things like Mom, she makes a bomb-ass baifala. And so we thought, let's offer that in the front. And they've been a hit as well as Whittaker's Creamy Milk Mousse, cake tubs. Those are nice cold desserts, some cheesecakes, as well as cakesicles. Yeah, so all different desserts that we think of and trial and test, then we end up offering in the front. Our main service here that we offer is our custom cakes. That's what started our business and what keeps it going. So on this side, when we first opened up the shop, we didn't really know exactly what we were going to do. We just knew we wanted to sell cakes and cupcakes, and then slowly would be like, oh, everyone comes here to give their cupcakes. Why not add some other products here? And we thought we'd support, especially knowing that we're family with some of these small businesses. So we support Under the Bird, Mamanu. We've got Chief Book Series. We've got the Oataua. made by Layla's projects, and then Mom's Ula's.
So what made you want to join and open your own business?
So it was never a dream. Like even studying, when I went into studying, I did a Bachelor of Arts double majoring in drama and Pacific Studies. My dream from the get has always been to be a high school teacher. So I was doing all the courses that I needed to do to get there. But it was just so random. It was just a passion for making the cakes. And then it just grew into a business naturally. And I know that lots of people say it's like accidental entrepreneurship or business owners. And that was what our journey was like, because my family could never imagine us opening up our own cake store, and neither could I. It was never part of my plan.
Yeah. Are you happy that it wasn't part of your plan, or?
Oh no, it's the best thing. And I tell everyone that. I couldn't imagine it before, but now that we're here, I can't imagine doing anything else. And it makes me really appreciate that we were able to come into this naturally. And you hear a lot of tough stories. It just was a passion to a purpose. That's how I feel this journey has been for me.
Amazing. And what are some of the values, the core values for Fale De Keke?
We get asked that all the time, and sometimes I'm like, when you even things such as branding, and I'm like, oh, what even is branding? When we first started this journey, we just know how to make cupcakes and that's it. But I guess it just aligns, it matches us as who we are as a family, especially being raised on the your Samoan values of love, respect, faith, family, and those are the values that we just be who, honestly, it sounds weird saying this, but we're just who we are. When you meet us for our services, and that's the same way we run our business. So by love, I mean we're kind, we serve others, we love to serve. And that goes from within a cultural sense, within our families, within our church, and then within our business. So,
that's so beautiful.
When we meet people that we get to work with, then we just are who we are, and we just try and serve them the best we can for their event or special occasion. All right, then follow me through, guys. Here is the back of that big, bright, colorful wall. This is it's our humble little kitchen here back here. This is all of our lovely team that are working currently. I'll show you, because of how small our kitchen is, we've really just separated spaces, and that's where we're delegated for doing different things. Over here is my decorating station, and this is where anyone who's decorating, whether it be me or the team, we mostly decorate on this side. We've got all of our food colors, our flavors, some of our special sprinkles up here. We've got all of our cake boards and supplies that we need for our cake decorating, and of course our Samoan flag that we have to show off, and then over here is just more colors and tools that I use for our cake decorating, our orders for the week up here, as well as many of the other ones that come through last minute. We tag them over here so that we don't forget them. Over here is, because we don't have an office, I've just gone and decorated my own little space like it is my office. And then over here are our fridges. In my ideal world, I would love to have a walk-in fridge, but when we found this space, it was it wasn't possible to have one in here. So we've just got lots of these fridges, stand-up fridges, and it is my dream, because I'm stating it here, one day we're going to have a walk-in fridge, and I'm going to show you guys it. So this is our fridges where all of our custom orders are being put in. This is the very, almost the end of the process. This is where we put all the cakes after we make them, bake them, decorate them, and more cakes. And then this is all of our supplies, our food stuff. On this side is just our kitchen area, and it can get really wild and chaotic around this end. Where we wash all our dishes and stuff like that. On this side here, we have our baking station, and we won't have you zoom up on that because that is our table of all of our recipes. But this is our two big mixers, and these are the bad boys that make all of our cake batches. We've got 2 full-time bakers, our sisters that just do all the baking for us, and all the ingredients are next to them. We've got all these different bins, bake bins that are include all of our ingredients, our flours, our sodas, and everything that we need for our baking.
what are some of the risks and sacrifices you had to make to get to this stage?
Honestly, I think I'm learning that more in the recent years. When I think what was so good is in the beginning of it all, I didn't even think of the risks. That's how much I enjoyed doing it, and how much confidence I had in myself and in my team, my sisters and my family. My sister was the one who was having to do a lot of the reality checks. Like, are you sure?
Right.
And I guess it's because she's being the older sister. This is my older sister, Tina. She runs all of our admin. She's been working for years. She's been the one that never took any risks, did everything, had to do the jobs just to help mom with everything financial, mom and dad. But I was more of I'm the youngest one out of my siblings. So they've done all the hard jobs, all the jobs that they just need to get into work, no career chasing, no mucking around. And they just allowed for me to I want to do this, I want to do that. And so I had the freedom to decide what I wanted to do. And because they had done all the hard yards, I was able to risk and take some risks. And by saying risk, I mean, just when I said that we were going to open up a shop, Mom was like, you what? That doesn't even, none of them could imagine us doing this as a job. Or, my sister was like, do you know how serious it is to own a business, to run it every day, keep to the opening hours,
right?
And then keep staff eventually.
That's good though that one of your siblings is keeping
the
you accountable for it.
Yeah. So that's her. And in the beginning I didn't really care. I was just like, I know I want to do this, and I'm set on doing it. And but over the years, you definitely start to learn. The reality check catches up, and you're just like, oh, this is why people said it's not an easy decision to make. But then by that time, you're so much involved in this that there's. I heard someone say it, and it's like business owners, you will just do what it takes to, run, keep, even if it means ridiculous hours, or even the learning, the lessons, the failures, you just have to do it. And especially with us, we have a huge audience watching us do our failures and stuff like that. So by now it's just, I think we're so passionate about it is one thing. We're doing it together as a family. So it's become, something that our family are proud of, our church, our community. And so we don't want to let them down. We don't want to let ourselves down. And then I've mentioned it before, sis, but our faith. Yes. And that is one of the biggest things that hold me and keep me to wanting to pursue this is because even if I am tired, or even if we are tired of doing this and we want to change up, because this was so not part of my vision, I can only owe it to God that He placed this in my life, because since then it's just gone, bigger and better and more blessed, and that's only led by Him. And in all ways.
It's so reassuring that that's what faith gives, is reassurance, especially when you're taking on such a risky journey, opening up your own shop, but you have the support.
And not only that, but because one of my dream was always to be a teacher, I kind of mourned a little bit of a loss. I was like, man, I didn't go that way, I've come this way. And then funny enough, everything has aligned to make it happen in this journey as well. So this, it's not just cakery, just cakes and cupcakes. I feel like because we get so involved in our community, we now offer courses where the kids can come out and do Cake Academy. We go out to schools and take classes. We get to guest speak, and go to conferences and stuff like that. And I guess that's where I get my fulfillment of something else that I could have done. Yeah. And so, and it's because it's things that I've prayed for too. It's I can only say that that's because He's making all of this align.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. What would your advice be to someone who wants to open up their own cake store?
I would say be prepared to work hard, even when the cameras are not on, and when people are, when you don't have an audience, because we experience way more of those than there's such a glamorizing of business owning and stuff like that. But it's not all glamorous. There's a lot of sacrifice of time, family time, time from home, sacrifice of sleep. And it all doesn't make sense. You wake up and you're like, why am I doing this again? But it's so true. You choose to do 80 hours to avoid working for someone else for 40 hours. But it's at the end of it, when you get that little moment, which we have lots of these beautiful moments, it makes it all worthwhile. So all of that is worthwhile. And we say it all the time. We're so thankful. We're crazy for wanting to do this, but we're always thankful that we get to share it as a family.